In this brief video, we'll talk about how you can get free information on truck driving schools. Now, first of all, you'll have to decide which type of commercial driver's license that you'll need. To operate a commercial vehicle legally in the U.S., the driver must obtain a CDL. Now, there are three types of CDL licenses that can qualify you to drive a commercial vehicle, Class A, B, and C. But since we're focusing on truck driving, we'll discuss Classes A and B. What distinguishes each class of CDL is the type of vehicle that the driver can operate, as well as the gross vehicle weight rating or the gross combination weight rating. Following are brief descriptions of the two classes. A Class A CDL is required to operate any vehicle that has a GCWR of more than 26,000 pounds, including a towed vehicle greater than 10,000 pounds. Now, some of the vehicles that drivers may be able to operate with a Class A license include interstate or intrastate tractor trailers, trucks with double or triple trailers, tanker trucks, livestock carriers, and all Class B and Class C vehicles. Now, a Class B CDL is required to operate single vehicles having a GVWR of more than 26,000 pounds or a GCWR of greater than 26,000 pounds, including a towed vehicle weighing up to 10,000 pounds. Now, some of the vehicles that drivers may be qualified to operate with Class B licenses are tractor trailers, dump trucks, cement mixers, large buses, and all Class C vehicles. Now, some of the questions asked truck driving schools are, first of all, is their program accredited or certified? Now, not many truck driving schools are accredited because of the cost and rigorous requirements, but many are certified, and certification is provided by the Professional Truck Driver Institute. Being certified can help ensure that the school is of a high quality and that it provides plenty of driving time. The PTDI requires a minimum of 44 hours of real driving time. Next, how long has the school been in business? Now, don't use this as a primary indication of whether or not you'll decide to enroll in the school. It's one of many things you should consider. Longevity is a good indication that the school has a good reputation and provides a quality education in truck driving. But on the other hand, many fine truck driving schools obviously started out not being in business very long. So just use this again as one of the indications whether or not the school is of a good quality. Next, how effective is the training? Obviously, you want to make sure that the school is licensed and that it does have qualified instructors. Find out what the student to teacher ratio is. It should be no more than a 4-to-1 ratio with 4 students maximum for every 1 instructor. Otherwise, you won't get much personalized instruction, or at least not enough. Also, most programs have a minimum of 3 weeks to as long as 2 months of training, depending on the class of license. So be wary of any school that says it basically has a fast track training course that can train you over the weekend or over a very short period of time. Learning how to drive a truck is not something that should be done on a again, fast track basis. How experienced are the instructors? You want to make sure that the instructors have plenty of driving time in their experience. They're also qualified to teach. Some states do have minimum driving time requirements in order for them to become certified as an instructor. Make sure that they keep it up to date with industry developments and changing laws. Now, this is somewhat subjective. You may want to visit the school and speak with some of the instructors so you can get an idea of what their background and qualifications are. And also speak with the students to make sure that they've been satisfied with the level of instruction, which is, again, an indication that the instructors are experienced truck drivers. How much driving time is provided? As we mentioned previously, The PTDI requires a minimum of 44 hours of real driving time as opposed to simulated driving time. But the main point is, in order to learn how to drive a truck, you're going to want to get as much time behind the wheel as possible. So make sure they're providing, even if they're not certified, that minimum 44 hours. And even more is the more driving time you can get behind the wheel is obviously better for your truck driving education. Are they independent or captive? There are pros and cons to each. An independent school basically teaches you how to drive a truck, and then you're free to pursue employment with any truck driving firm. Captives, on the other hand, are basically sponsored by a particular truck driving company. And once you graduate, you're expected to drive for them for at least a period of time. In exchange for that, they typically offer subsidized or even free training. So you have to decide if you want to, basically pursue a truck driving career, being free to operate a vehicle for any company that you choose once you graduate, or would you prefer to have your education paid or subsidized and be locked into a contract with a particular trucking company for a period of time in exchange for that education? Is CDL testing provided on site? Some states allow third-party on-site testing for the CDL license once you graduate. So find out if that is allowed in your state, and if so, does the school provide on-site CDL testing? It's one indication that the DMV finds that the truck driving school is of a high quality to allow on-site testing. And it's also very convenient, so you don't have to basically fight the long lines at the DMV to take your CDL test. And finally, is job placement assistance provided? Naturally, once you graduate, you're going to want to start driving as soon as possible, particularly so you don't start becoming rusty. You want to get behind the wheel and, again, start your career as a truck driver, which may be difficult if you do not have assistance from the school, particularly since obviously you're going to be starting your first job with no, outside of the school driving experience. So find out if they have a job placement assistance program. Also find out what their placement rate is. Obviously, you're going to want to work with a school that has a very high or even 100% placement record. Finally, you can request free information on truck driving schools by filling out the form right on this website. If you're not on our website, just scroll down below and you'll find a link where you can click onto our website and request free information on truck driving schools near you. So what are you waiting for? Let's get your truck driving career started and request your free information now.